I see you. Another dead Tenno. I see you.
Alright guys, I'm so sorry about that intro. Like, I know some of you are probably like, ZFR, what the heck? You just trashed Warframe in the first minute of this video. No, I promise it's not what it looks like. I just couldn't find any cutscenes within Warframe, or get to any cutscenes at least, because most of the cool scenes like that are at the beginning of the game or during boss fights. And you know, I wasn't trying to grind all over the place to find a good one. But yeah, anyway, pretty much I just decided to go with something jokey, and I am working with Share Factory, which is why I couldn't just take one of the Warframe trailers and put that in there or whatever. But seriously, like, there's no cutscenes in Warframe like that. I mean, like, Destiny gives me stuff like this, and Warframe gives me stuff like this. So yeah, you guys see what I'm working with here. But anyway, without getting into any more of that, we're actually going to compare these games today. This is my first versus video in a while. I used to do a lot of these. I even have a playlist full of my old ones on the channel, which this video will be going into. Make sure you go check that out if you want to see some of the older ones I did. But yeah, pretty much in this video we're going to be comparing Destiny versus Warframe. Alright, so yeah, I'm really excited for this. When these two games first, well, actually when Destiny first came out, Warframe was out way before Destiny, but when Destiny first came out, it was being compared to Warframe a lot, because the two games do share a lot of the same ideals, and I'll get into what all of that is in a second. But without further ado, let's get into the actual comparison. Okay, so let's start this off by comparing the stories in both of these games, because a good story keeps the player interested. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat that Destiny definitely does have a better story. Now, don't get me wrong, both of these games has a very interesting story setup, but the problem here is in Warframe they simply don't focus on the story. The story is simply more of a tool to just give your character a reason to be where he is and to have a reason for doing what they're doing. So yeah, the story in Warframe doesn't really matter all that much, and at least from the way I see it, it's definitely more about the gameplay in Warframe, where in Destiny they actually do make the story a bigger part of the game, or they're trying to. At least that's how they did it with the Taken King DLC that recently came out. So yeah, in my opinion, I think Destiny definitely has the stronger story out of the two games. So that's 1 point for Destiny. Let's move on. And now I'm going to talk about the controls. Alright, now a lot of people have asked me, why do I compare the controls? It seems like kind of a silly section of a game to really compare and talk about like that, but I do it for the simple reason controls are very important in a game. If the game doesn't feel comfortable, it's not going to be as fun as it could be. Like, I mean, that was one of my things in Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, the controls on console for Grand Theft Auto 5 just were, you know, they weren't horrible, but they definitely could have been better. So yeah, controls are very important when it comes to the experience, in my opinion. So yeah, in both games, I think both games have really strong, solid controls, very accurate controls. It's really hard to say which one controls better. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to give them both a point, because I just simply don't. I can't like really say one controls better than the other one. I do prefer the way Destiny feels and controls and handles more than Warframe, but Warframe's controls aren't bad. I just prefer the way Destiny feels because it's a bit more simple. But at the same time, Warframe is still really solid and accurate and kind of impressive for all the stuff you can do with the controls. So yeah, I'm going to give the point to both of these. So pretty much that puts Destiny at 2 and Warframe at 1. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is the combat. So pretty much both games have really fun combat. I'll say that. Like, it's fun to kill stuff in both games, like extremely fun. A lot of people are going to say Destiny because like it's just fun to sit there and shoot stuff in Destiny. Like Destiny is, it's just addictive for some reason, that game. But I'm going to say Warframe does have a better combat system. Alright, I'm going to say that. A lot of you are going to be like, what do you mean? I know there are going to be the Destiny fans out there that are like, what? But hear me out on this. When you look at Destiny, you shoot guns, you might can throw a knife or punch someone in the face every now and then. You can do a little jumping around, and you can, you know, use your one super every now and then. In Warframe, you can use your primary weapon, which ranges from a variety of different stuff: shotguns, sniper rifles, machine guns, heavy machine guns, bows and arrows. Then you have your secondary weapons, which are usually pistols, which can be, you know, heavy pistols, light pistols, dual pistols. I think there's even a bow and arrow pistol in the game. Like, I mean, crossbows, all that cool stuff in there. Like, and then you have melee weapons, and you can use all of these. Then you have the channeling system to make your melee attacks more powerful. You have 4 different abilities on your Warframe, so that's pretty much like 4 supers from Destiny that you can use anytime you want, back to back, like, as long as you have enough energy. Plus you can do all the parkour, jumping off walls, shooting people mid-air and stuff, all of that stuff. So yeah, at the end of the day, I do think Warframe has a superior combat system. I think Destiny's combat isn't bad, but they definitely could add something else to it. They tried doing that with the swords, when the swords are really fun in Destiny. But I'm sorry, Destiny's combat at the end of the day, if you're looking at it from a realistic standpoint, it just doesn't stand up to Warframe's. That's just how I feel about it. So of course that ties up the 2 games. They both have 2 points now. Destiny a point from story and controls, Warframe a point from controls and combat. So yeah, they're tied up right now. Next is the variety. Alright, variety in a game is very, very important. Alright, like, variety keeps the players coming back. Like, it keeps them from getting bored. But the problem here is both of these games focus heavy on repetition in one way or another. But here's the thing. I think it's easy enough to see that at the end of the day, Destiny has less repetition than Warframe, which before that used to not be the case. But with the Taken King DLC coming out and adding a lot more stuff to Destiny, plus all the old content that you can still do, I do think Destiny has more variety in it. I think, like, there's a bigger variety of the types of missions you can do and all of that, and the types of weapons and stuff you can use. But of course, when you look at Warframe, there are more types of weapons, there are more characters and Warframes and abilities in that you can customize and everything. So really, this one, you'll have to look at this for yourself and decide. But in my opinion, I think Destiny, at the end of the day, it feels like there is more variety in Destiny overall compared to Warframe. But at the end of the day, that's something you'll have to look at yourself. So that puts Destiny at 3 points, and that puts Warframe at 2. So Destiny's in the lead right now, guys. Next is the graphics. Alright. Now, right away, come on. Warframe wins this. I'm sorry. Warframe definitely does have better graphics. I will say, though, that Destiny, I like the art style in Destiny more. But at the end of the day, you can't deny that Warframe just has a way... It's just way up there in the graphics compared to Destiny. Like, you can't deny that much. Alright, now, Warframe just has better graphics. There's no denying it. You can say that Destiny has a better art style. That I wouldn't entirely disagree with that. I think the art style in Destiny is really interesting and cool and fun and all that. But yeah, Warframe, better graphics, definitely. So yeah, Warframe wins the graphics department. Even though I don't put graphics at that much of an importance, but at the same time, you know, you still gotta talk about them a little bit. So yeah, Warframe gains a point here, and if I'm correct, that ties them back up. Now, these next two sections are going to be what makes and breaks it. These are two very big sections for any game, any types of games like these, like that focus on repetition. These next two sections are big. Alright, next section, the multiplayer. I know what you guys are thinking right now. It's definitely Destiny, and that's true. Destiny wins the multiplayer section. I'm sorry, Warframe's multiplayer, like Conclave, like it's just no, it's not finished. Like, it's not fully realized, and I know what some of you are going to say. It wasn't really fair for me to compare those when Conclave, like the developer, actually still has a lot of work to do on that, and they're probably still working on that and stuff. You know, they recently added a new game mode and stuff for, you know, competitive multiplayer and all that, with the little sports like game mode or whatever, where you have to get the ball and the goal or whatever. But I always say, if something's not ready, or if you're not prepared to have something judged, don't put it in the game, or don't say it, don't do it. Like, it's in the game, I have to judge it. It would be unfair for me not to. So yeah, Warframe's Conclave loses this. Destiny's Crucible wins. So Destiny is sitting in the lead right now. Warframe is behind by 1. So the next section is going to be the DLC for both of these games. DLC in these games are very important. DLC keeps these games from getting boring. It keeps them from getting dry, and keeps players on them. Now, let's not even play any games with this one. Warframe has better DLC, like, definitely. Like, I'm sorry, it's no comparison. In Warframe, they get free stuff every month. They get free characters. They get free weapons. They get free, they get, like, whole new freaking sections to the game sometimes. Like, they get new game modes, new mission types, new enemy types, new freaking bosses and all that. Like, I mean, what else could you want? Like, and that's every month they get for free. And yeah, you can pay for it, but most of it you can get in game for free. You'll have to do a little bit of waiting, but it's free. In Destiny, like, you have the Taken King that screwed over a lot of the players who didn't buy it, or pretty much all the players who didn't buy it. The first two DLCs for Destiny were kind of trashy. Like, they weren't bad, but they weren't all that. They definitely weren't worth the price they were charged, in my opinion. So yeah, like, at the end of the day, Warframe blows Destiny away on DLC in terms of the content you get in the DLC, the quality of it. It just blows Destiny away in that department. So that pretty much ties these two games up. These two games are tied now, and that was the last section I had to compare them on, guys. That was the last section I compared them on. So this video overall is a tie. Now, I know you guys are thinking, don't worry, every video is not going to be a tie. This was just an honest down to earth tie. These two games kind of equaled each other out on all of the sections I consider to be important. So pretty much what this means is it's up to you guys. Leave down in the comments which game you think is better and why. I'm really interested to see what everyone has to say about this. Personally, me, I can't really decide if I'm being honest. I really do like both of these games a lot. I would probably say Destiny, because I feel like Destiny has a lot of potential if it just wasn't being run by Activision. I feel like Destiny would be such a better game than it is. I feel like Destiny could be Game of the Year if it was being ran by the right people, but it's not. Warframe is great and everything, but it's kind of just a pick up and play for a while, leave it, then come back later. But anyway, overall, I think these games, when you compare them the way I just did, they're definitely equal. But leave the comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And if you guys want to see me do more of these videos, tell me what you guys want me to compare next. Like, tell me which games you want me to compare. Maybe even if you want, I'll compare movies or TV shows if we get to that point. But just tell me which two games or whatever you want me to compare in the next one, and I might do it. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. And before I go, I'm sorry this was such a long video. Hopefully the next one won't be, but I'll try. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Zia far out.